Right, in 10 minutes to the raid. Are you late to the
Subscribe to Raze Chaos.
And welcome back, everybody. My name is Raze Chaos. You've made it back to my channel, and we are back. It is Wednesday. It is the Wednesday after C2E2. It is so exciting. I am resting, probably editing Friday's video. I better be. If I'm not, Raze, get to work. Come on. People want to see that. But it is also New Comic Book Day, and I have got a doozy for you. And it's funny because I've already talked about this in the DC Heroes role-playing game miniatures collection of the Justice League of America. Because this is the only appearance of Brainiac in the Justice League. Justice League of America. As of '85, that was the only time that the Brainiac had been in the pages of Justice League of America. And we're going to talk about that because I said in that video I was going to talk more about it in this video. So we're going to set you aside because Raze is about to get long-winded again. Shut up! This story is called Crisis in Tomorrow. And that really kind of gives you a sense of what's going on here. That title alone. Because the fact that Shazam was not part of Fawcett Comics, and he was from another company, another company that DC had bought, and bought the Captain Marvel characters, the Captain Marvel family. Had brought the Captain Marvel family to the DC universe. And this is one of the things that show. This is really a strong one. If you see on the cover on the back here, you've got Flash, you've got Green Lantern, you've got Wonder Woman and Batman, but then you've got a different looking Robin, a more grown up looking Robin, because he's part of the Justice Society. And then on top of that, you've got Sargon the Sorcerer, Mary Marvel and Captain Marvel Jr. off to the side. And this was a multi-part story. There was many things going. I believe the Green Lanterns were actually fighting Brainiac. Why I couldn't remember that, I don't understand. But in this case, they had Johnny Thunder from the Justice Society. He was the one who came and woke up the Marvel family. Because one of the big problems that they were having was that Superman had been changed by red kryptonite and turned evil, and they needed somebody to battle that powerhouse. And this was DC had basically shunned Captain Marvel when it first came around, because he was everything that Superman was, but he was more interesting. And he was more interesting because with a magic word, he could turn into a young boy. So in a lot of cases with the Golden Age characters and everything, that's why you had sidekicks, was something, because young boys were reading this and they could not really relate to the hero, but they could relate to the sidekick. In Captain Marvel's case, they could relate to the hero because they knew he was a young boy inside. So that in itself made Captain Marvel more accessible than Superman, but in essence, he was a ripoff of Superman. And so DC was able to say, hey, he's too similar, get rid of him. They did have other characters like Sargon the Sorcerer and Bullet Man and Bullet Woman, some of those characters that you don't really hear from anymore. And they weren't able to carry the company the way Captain Marvel was able to carry the company. So that slowly went down the drain and everything until DC decided to buy them. And once they had Captain Marvel, they were more than happy to show how powerful Captain Marvel was, how very similar he was to Superman, with the difference being that he was actually a young boy underneath the cape. And so yeah, they brought him in, being magical based. He is a match for Superman, if not able to beat him completely due to Superman's vulnerability to magic, and that is brought up quite often. But due to that long lack of being used, it created problems with the name Captain Marvel, because Marvel Comics, they kind of wanted that name, and they got it, and they maintained that that name, giving it to this person, that person, whoever they could, just to keep a Captain Marvel comic book going. And so that's a constantly revamped character until they find what works. But in the meantime, that means DC couldn't use that name on the cover of their comics. And that was fine for the longest time. The comic would be called The Power of Shazam and that kind of stuff. And then Captain Marvel would be inside. But then after a while, that just got a little bit confusing, because that's why they've actually changed the character's name to Shazam, just all the way around. But I love the fact that I mean, even on the cover, they use some of the nicknames that he was given. You know, it was like, this is it, the encounter you've been waiting for, the big red cheese, which is what Captain Marvel was called, or Shazam. He was called that because he was a young boy, and he really had that hopeful look. And the big red cheese meets the big red S. Yeah, well, we all know Superman's an S sometimes. I couldn't resist that one. But yes, this is a very dynamic cover. I love the idea. They did the arm poses just right for the thing, but I guess they didn't really want him facing down. But this is the first appearance of Captain Marvel, or Shazam, in the DC universe, and they were really wanting to promote the crap out of him, so obviously they put them in there. And yeah, with this story, with Crisis in Tomorrow, Crisis on Earth 1, Crisis on Earth 2, it was part of the merger of the Justice Society and Justice League having constant team-ups. And they were usually something along these lines, where it was integrating another character or characters from another company after DC bought them. And that really culminated in the Crisis on Infinite Earths, which the ramifications are still being felt, because they've combined it into one Earth, they've split it back into a multiverse. It's just one of those things where DC really can't keep their universe in line. It makes it more complicated, but it also kind of makes it fun, in my opinion. And that's part of the reason why I'm a big DC fan, is because, yeah, if you don't follow it closely, it's just confusing. But yeah, this is a cover that I was really happy to get. I really didn't know at the time when I was actually when I was ordering this, that I'd do the Justice League miniatures and be able to tie it in so easily. But as always, I have got all the comic book covers that I do appear on Wednesday, on New Comic Book Day. And I have a playlist that I put down there if you want to check out more of these. These are my favorite things that Funko is doing right now. And this is another one that ranks right up there with some of the best that they've done so far. So give me a like if you've enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you know this story, or if this has sparked more interest in the Crisis on Infinite Earths lead up, which is a lot of fun once you realize how much of it there actually was. Yeah, give me a subscribe if you haven't already, if you enjoy this kind of stuff. I will definitely be seeing you soon, and never forget that life is full of odd moments, and you never know when you're going to be defined.
Yep.